Never have I ever known this was Jesus. One of the best sermons out there on the Eucharist is from Father Mike Schmitz. It's biblical, it's truthful, it's honest, and it's raw. Before I became Catholic, I heard this message, and let me tell you, he was right. He said that a Jesus-loving Christian who wants all of Jesus will eventually become Catholic, once they realize the truth, that he is truly present, body, blood, soul, and divinity in the Eucharist. And that's exactly what happened to me, because here's the truth of the matter. If I don't want the Eucharist, then I don't want Jesus. Now I get it. Some churches down the street might have better music, their preachers might be more exciting, their small groups might be thriving, their community life might look amazing, and honestly, sometimes Catholic priests are a bit boring, I know. But here's the thing, if I don't want the Eucharist, then I don't want Jesus. That sounds harsh at first, but let's really dig in. Does that mean non-Catholic Christians don't love Jesus? Absolutely not. I know so many Christians outside the Catholic Church who love him with their whole hearts. They follow him faithfully. They're on fire for him. But here's something I've noticed. Every single person I've met who truly loved Jesus and then discovered this teaching about the Eucharist being literally Jesus eventually became Catholic. Because when you hear it and let it sink in, you realize, how could I walk away from this? Now, a lot of people will say the Eucharist is just a symbol of Jesus. But let's look at what Jesus actually said. In the Gospel of John, chapter 6, Jesus declares, "I am the bread that came down from heaven." The crowd murmured against him because of his claim. And then he goes further. He says, "The bread that I will give is my flesh for the life of the world." At this point, they're confused. Verse 52 says that Jews quarreled among themselves, asking, "How can this man give us his flesh to eat?" Now pause here for a second. If Jesus was only speaking symbolically, this would have been the perfect moment to clear it up. He could have said, "Relax guys, I don't really mean flesh and blood, it's just a metaphor." But he doesn't. Instead, he doubles down. In fact, he repeats himself 5 times, saying it even more strongly. Listen to his words. "Unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you do not have life within you. Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him on the last day. My flesh is true food, and my blood is true drink. Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood remains in me, and I in him. Just as the living Father sent me, and I live because of the Father, so also the one who feeds on me will live because of me." Not once, not twice, 5 times. And notice this, when his disciples start grumbling, Jesus doesn't soften his words. He doesn't backtrack. He intensifies them. That's why so many people walked away. Verse 60 says, "Many of his disciples said, 'This saying is hard. Who can accept it?' And then in John 6:66, we read, "As a result of this, many of his disciples returned to their former ways of life and no longer accompanied him." Think about it. If they had misunderstood him, if he only meant it symbolically, then letting people walk away would have been a terrible failure to communicate. But Jesus knew exactly what he was saying, and he meant it literally. Now, of course, on our own, this is shocking. Flesh and blood, really? But here's the thing. This is the same Jesus who created everything out of nothing. If he can multiply loaves and fish, if he can raise the dead, if he can speak the universe into being, then of course he can take bread and wine and transform them into his very self. And that's what he does at every single Mass. The Eucharist is not just a symbol. It's not just a nice reminder. It's Jesus, truly present. And when you receive him, you're not just remembering him. You are literally united to him, body and soul. That's why the Catholic Church treasures the Eucharist above all else, because without it, we don't have the fullness of Jesus. And that's the heart of the Catholic faith. Not better music, not better preaching, not even better community life. It's Jesus himself, given to us in the Eucharist, just as he promised. So if you're searching, if you're wondering, If you love Jesus, but the Catholic Church feels strange or distant, hear this. Jesus meant what he said, and he's waiting for you in the Eucharist. Because the truth is simple. If I don't want the Eucharist, then I don't want Jesus. And here's my invitation for you. Go find a Catholic church, step inside, look for the little red light near the tabernacle. That's the sign that Jesus is there. Then sit down, be open. Open your heart to him. Some of us experience his presence in a very tangible way. For others it's quieter, more hidden. But either way, he is there. So go, sit with him, speak to him, pour out your heart. Because in the Eucharist, he is truly present. Body, blood, soul, and divinity. And keep your eyes on him. I create these videos on my own as a one-person production team. If this message spoke to you, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Every view helps this message reach more people seeking the truth. Thank you for joining me on this journey.